Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Dilla Putri from English Education Department. In this mid-semester, I will explain my knowledge about culture, stereotype, culture shock, and language. First, I will talking about culture. Talking about culture, uh, there are many kinds of cultures that exist throughout the world, and every country in the world has cultural difference. A culture is a way of life of a group of people, the behaviors, beliefs, values, and symbols that they accept, generally without thinking about them, and that are passed along by communication and imitation from one generation to the next. Next, I will talking about stereotype. Stereotype is an assessment of a person based solely on the perception of the group in which that person can be categorized. The assessment is usually taken from the perceptions of many people they usually experience and meet. Stereotypes are often unfounded and lead to negative things about a particular individual or group. Prejudice is what ultimately greatly influences how a person behaves and interacts. In fact, the way one person acts towards another person may be different. They are not aware that they are under the influence of their internal thinking. This kind of thinking will make someone think that people from certain groups have the same characteristic. So, stereotypes can be said to be prejudices that are necessarily 100% true, could be true, and could not. Next, I was talking about relationship between language and culture. Of course, there is. Language and culture are two things that are closely related and can be separated. Especially in terms of communication, language is one of the results of human culture, while human culture is also influenced by language. More importantly, human culture can exist without language because language is the factor that makes culture possible. Okay, next I will talking about culture shock. Culture shock is a situation where someone visits a place or moves to a place. Then they feel confused and anxious when they discover things they have never experienced before. And also, culture shock is an unpreparedness to deal with culture change that exists in new environment with the previous environment. It can be like food, lifestyles, language, and so on. I give one example. For example, a tourist from abroad who saw Indonesian people eating with hands, while foreign people rarely eat with their hands. Uh, I think that's all about culture shock. Next, I will talking about what I need to prepare when I continue uh, my education abroad. Okay, if I continue my education abroad, the thing I prepare first is that I must be fluent in English. I think language is the most important point for communication with foreign people. Next is to find out on the internet or YouTube the culture shock experience of other people who live there, so I can know what to do while there. So I know a little more before I experience it myself. Okay, I think that's all my knowledge about cross culture understanding. I'm sorry if there are many mistakes, and I'm sorry for my lack of uh, pronunciation. So thank you for the intentions. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.